How this self-proclaimed punk puts us all at risk while maximizing his personal wealth and Facebook corporate wealth. To Facebook and Zuckerberg, the only thing in the world that matters is this number. And this is compliments of Statista, which is just the first hit that I found using Google to search for social media rankings by users. So Zuckerberg and Facebook have 2.74 billion users, active users. Now that figure was higher in the past, around 3 or 4 billion, and that's because they have standardized, some of these ranking places have standardized what they consider an active user. And I would imagine the higher number, 3 to 4 billion, was due to some, like Facebook claiming that that's how many total users they have. And then, somehow people got together and decided we're going to rank these by active users who have logged into their accounts like in the last 6 months or something like that. I don't know what the criteria is, but the number's way down because criteria was set. Nigeria is the scam capital of the world. So if you think I'm just picking on Nigeria because I don't like Nigeria, I've never been to Nigeria. I've only known 2 Nigerians in my life, and they were brothers, and they were both engineers, and they were both scholars, and they were both funny as hell. So there's a lot of Nigerians out there who aren't scammers, but when you think of Nigeria, what do you think of? The scam capital of the world. As it stands, why Nigeria became the scam capital of the world. And Nigeria's internet scammers are role models, yeah, because they drive around in nice new sports cars and wear all kinds of gold. And romance scammer shares secrets. So here we have the FBI doing a sting that was pretty well publicized, $1 billion global fraud. And they went around and arrested people in a bunch of different countries. And then here it also says a Nigerian prince scam, even though it's getting old, 2.5 billion lost over a decade, but it still works. And the prince scam is basically sending emails to people to say, hey, I just inherited, I'm a Nigerian prince. I just inherited, $30 million or a couple $100 million, and I need your help. And if you help me, I'll give you $1 million. Common Nigerian scams. There are many more, but these are 2 of the most common ones. The romance scams on the left, sweetheart scams, whatever you want to call them, they involve infiltrating dating sites and other sites like Facebook and going into groups in Facebook or going into dating sites and setting up fake profiles and developing a relationship with someone with the intent of later scamming them. And then a Nigerian prince scam I already mentioned. It's you're about to make a lot of money if you just send me $10,000. I'll give you $1 million back. Nigerian scammers caught in other countries. So here's Thailand. And a bunch of Thai police arresting these Nigerian guys. And they're in deep doo-doo because why? Because they're going to jail. They were scamming Thai ladies. So I don't know whether they were doing this it's a combination of dating sites. Nobody mentions Facebook specifically, but they didn't mention the other dating sites either. So anyways, they were getting in there and writing letters to Thai ladies and asking them to send money, and they got nailed. And now they're going to go to prison. So yeah, if you get caught, outside of Nigeria, you're going to end up in prison where you belong. So this is the sting operation by the FBI. You can see FBI guys all over the place, and they're arresting masses of people. I think they nailed like 40 people altogether. And they got some pretty healthy sentences here. One guy 95 years, one guy 115 years, and one 25 years. And then there's a list of people on the bottom that all got 10 years. So, not good. So if you're a Nigerian scammer, at least have to be, wary of the FBI. They're after you. But of course, the FBI doesn't have the resources to monitor all the scammers in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, you don't need to worry about getting caught because you have one of the most corrupt police forces in the world, and you have deals with them ahead of time. You pay them off every week or every month or every whatever, and then they might come by and demand more money. But anyways, the police are all in on it. So are local politicians. So you're not going to get caught as long as you keep paying people off. Now here's an idea that I think would be cool. During the Olympics, the opening ceremony, all these teams march in, and the networks around the world all give a little blurb about the country, and here's what they ought to say about Nigeria. Nigeria is an African country on the west coast, English-speaking country, best known as the scam capital of the world. That might embarrass Nigeria enough to actually do something about their corrupt politicians and their corrupt policemen and their scam artists, because otherwise it's never going to stop. Nobody cares about it right now, but and everybody in the world knows that Nigeria is known as the scam capital of the world, but we haven't said that publicly. So I think this would be a good idea. If you're a Nigerian big boss scammer, and if I get contacted a lot, in Facebook and other sites, and somebody will send me a message and say, hey, handsome, you want to talk? And it's some Asian lady or European lady or something. And, I take a look at their profile and see, the craziness in the way they set up their profile. Like, the girl looks, Japanese, and she's on a Thai site, and her nationality is Swedish, and she lives in Rio de Janeiro. So I'll just send a message back and say, if you were smart, you would kill the big boss and take all of his computers and start your own room of scammers. Bye. But if you're a big boss, you have a choice of many different scams, and the two that we mentioned before, the romance scams and the print scams. So we're going to talk about the romance scams because that's what the FBI is after now. That's the big dollar stuff. So you might want to, enter a Facebook group. So I'm a member of a bunch of Facebook groups for dating, mostly Asian ladies. Now, I know that a lot of scams go on in Europe, like in Eastern Europe, but that's a different kind of scam. Usually, it's not been infiltrated that much by Nigerians because Eastern Europeans and Russians have their own scams going, and they're a little bit different. So I chose to join a bunch of groups for Asian ladies. China doesn't do Facebook, so Japanese, Korean, and Southeast Asian, mostly Vietnamese and Thai, but Cambodia, Myanmar, etc. So all you need to do is set up a profile and then just join one of these groups. And these people in the groups, the moderators and the group founders and stuff like that, they don't do anything usually to check to see if a profile is legitimate. So here we have somebody named Rosemary in a Vietnamese dating site, meet and date Vietnamese women. So they have a kind of Asian looking girl here, kind of. And if you go to her profile by right-clicking on the name and take a look at the profile, Rosemary is somebody from San Diego, California, a graduate of the Stanford Graduate School of Business. I went there also. Has 7 friends. So there's probably not too many American college girls or recent college grads or anybody under 30 that only has 7 friends. So that looks suspicious right there. Then you can take a look at the profile photos if you can't find anything. Now, a lot of these people, when they set up the profile, they'll block a lot of things. Like they'll block their friends so you can't look at them. or they'll block their about page. Everything's blank and it's blocked. They just choose to not show that information except for to friends. So if you right click on the photo, I just used a main profile photo here and did a search Google for photo, and it came up with this girl, Dasha Taran. And, Dasha Taran is not Rosemary. But there's only one person here on the right that's Dasha Taran. Now, if you're pretty smart and you want to do a good thing, you should report profiles when you discover that they're fake. So when you do that, report from the group, and that would mean go to the group page where you saw this greeting from this person. This person didn't say anything, just Rosemary posted 2 photos here. And you see 9 comments. A lot of times I grab these kind of early, and they might wind up with 400 or 500 comments because it's a nice looking lady. But to report it, you click on those 3 dots, and then you see a page that says report, and you have some choices here. Now, one choice you don't have is fake profile, and that used to be in there, but it was removed. So we'll discuss that later. So your choices here are nudity, violence, harassment, and the other ones. So fake profile, why was it removed? I think the FBI ought to investigate why it was removed. I'm pretty sure I know why, because they were deleting too many accounts, giving you the opportunity to designate fake profile. So Zuckerberg put an end to that, said, hey, no, my pile of money is going down and I don't like that. So anyway, somebody ought to go in there and subpoena some emails and see what the discussion was around why they want to delete fake profile as a choice. Zuck doesn't want to lose millions of active users. That's why. He's at 2.74 billion. He's got YouTube crawling right up behind him. So the FBI really ought to take a look at this. The FBI ought to take a look at a lot of things. Now, if you want to do the right thing, because you've discovered that this person is fake, then you could post something underneath the photo with the group responses. And that's what I always do. I have a screen print already of her. I found the name Dasha Taran. And then I reported it here. You can see on the left it says California girl with 7 friends and 2 profile pics. Not very likely that a California girl is only going to have 7 friends or 2 profile pics. And this is a Ukrainian model. And I just put the screen in here to show you why I said it was a Ukrainian model, because the screen on the right doesn't say that. So if you're going to report somebody, the options are on the left. So as soon as you hit report, it gives you a bunch of options there. Now keep in mind that the bots are related to these options. So if you pick nudity, the bot is going to be looking for nude. If you pick hate speech, they're going to be a bot is going to be looking for hate speech. That means you're narrowing it down so they don't have to have a million bots looking at every profile. So you're kind of narrowing it down for them. Usually in the IT world, that means that things are going to be more accurate. And then you have a choice for something else. And if you choose something else, you can see an initial screen coming up on the left, or in the middle screen, but on the left of the two. And it gives you examples: intellectual property, fraud or scam. And then if you scroll down, you can see the bottom part of that list. And keep in mind, anything you pick here is going to cause a bot to look for that item. So what you get back always, I've reported hundreds of these. I've never had them find anyone to be fake. So you get a message back that says it doesn't go against one of our specific community standards. So, that message has been changed from about a year ago, where they added specific, and that's, just think of that as relating to the bots and your choice on why you wanted to report it. And then you have an option that's, it says see options. Always click on that and then ask for a review. That'll be on the next page. And you'll get the same message back, the same thing that you're looking at here. Thanks for your feedback. But it didn't go against any of our specific community standards. So here's another profile. This is obviously Nigerian, so I wanted to show you what this looks like. Here we have a picture of a girl, Jessica Lawrence, under Thai Cupid dating. Am looking for true love. And on the right, her profile, you can see lives in Detroit, from Detroit, went to the University of Michigan. Okay, that's conceivable. But if you look at the top of the page on her profile, it was set up by somebody named Bleeze King Valentine. So, and I right-clicked on this picture, and this is actually a picture of a girl from LA, Eliza McLam, who is a singer-songwriter from LA. And I looked at her actual profile. She's brunette now, but she does have a Facebook profile. And on the right, even though she lives in Detroit, under check-ins, you can see I have check-ins highlighted there. Every so often she bops over to Nigeria, to have dinner or something. So there's 3 check-ins here, and they're all in Nigeria. That's kind of a giveaway. So Bleeze King is a Nigerian and, didn't hide all of his check-ins and when he stole this photo of this girl. So here, under the group greeting, I just made a comment, fake Nigerian named Bleeze King based in Nigeria, just to let people know that this person it's a fake profile. Don't chat with this person. Don't friend a person, because if you friend a Nigerian who's a scammer, they're going to get in your profile and steal all of your photos and maybe your name and set up a fake profile. So be careful when you get friend requests, because bad things happen if you friend a Nigerian. So what happened to this? I got nailed for hate speech. This was on March the 5th. This was, relatively recent. It's April now. And, I just said fake Nigerian named Bleeze King, and somehow that's hate speech. So what happened? I got my account restricted for 30 days. Now, how does that happen? How's it possible that someone reporting a fake profile can get banned from Facebook for 30 days? That's how it's designed. Zuckerberg doesn't want people to report fake profiles. So, the bots are after you and the reviewers are after you. And if they can flag you for hate speech, they will. I don't know what's hate speech about that. There wasn't much hate going on there. I'm just reporting a scam artist from Nigeria. Everybody knows Nigeria is a scam capital of the world. So here's a couple other examples of how I got blasted for hate speech again. This is August 24th. So this was what is this? No, this was something posted by U.S. News and World Report that I decided to repost. So this story was printed by U.S. News and World Report. It doesn't need to be evaluated by someone who can't get a job. And I said, how much longer is Facebook going to get away with having uneducated, unemployable idiots evaluating posts of people that have two more master's degrees than they do? So that I was able to get in and just, somehow I was able to comment on this, even though I got blasted for hate speech. They must run a batch program that takes 10 minutes or something. So I was able to comment on this before I was restricted from doing anything in Facebook. And here's another one. This is July 6th. Now what happened here, there's a place called policespecial.com, and they posted something. And this was on July 6th that they posted it. And then on July 7th, they said, okay, loyal page followers, we posted a few videos of the thugs rioting in different cities, and Facebook put us in Facebook jail for 24 hours. But they have lawyers, this policespecial.com. So they raised hell with Facebook, and Facebook took away the restriction. They were only restricted for 30 days. But I reposted this. I don't have lawyers. I'm just a person. So I got restricted for the whole 30 days. Just from reposting something that they already posted. Insanity. So they're looking for you. They're looking for reasons to restrict your account because you're reporting fake accounts, and that's something Facebook doesn't want you to do. Now here's a person. This is kind of crazy. So here's an American armed forces person. Now these guys and girls are all victims of Nigerian scams, and whenever they can find a U.S. service person, armed forces person, then they try to friend them so they can get in their profile and get all their pictures, and then they set up an account. So this is an account set up under the name It's Ickitex. It's Ickitex. And they set up, a profile, and then they went into the dating group: Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, Korean Republic, Japan, And the guy says, why can't I find true love here? I have really been looking for that precious woman. How long am I going to see her? We don't hire service people that can't speak English. So this is somebody sitting on a dirt floor in a room with a notebook PC who doesn't speak English very well either. So anyways, if you right-click on the profile photo there and search for it, you can see the guy's real name, and he is a real, captain in the U.S. military. And by the way, the real name of the person who set this up is Emmanuel Okoli. So Emmanuel Okoli thought it would be a good idea to set up a U.S. Armed Forces person named It's Ickitex. So I reported this too, put in a little screen print down there and said check-ins Nigeria, what a surprise. And guess what? I got nailed for hate speech again. This is just beyond crazy. This guy Zuckerberg, I just want to pinch his head off and shove it up his butt, because that's where it belongs. The guy's such an idiot. All he cares about, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anything other than the number of current users. Now here's one that's really crazy. So this guy in a Filipina in Panay seeking love and marriage. So Panay is another word for Filipina, or Philippine people. Panay means Philippine. Filipina is a girl from the Philippines. So a guy named Ali Raza posts in here and shows a picture of some Pakistani or Indian looking guy with F-16s in the background. So these guys, if you scroll, here's where 110 comments is where I noticed this guy, and I scroll down and there's just crazy number of people here reporting this guy is fake. So the one guy says total BS. The only place your ass is flying an F-16 is in Tucson, Arizona. So he knows that picture was taken in Tucson, Arizona. The guy just put his picture in front of it. And then here's another guy with a fish on a hook, and that's not your real pic because I know you. This is a girl posting, so she knows the guy named Ali Raza, and he's not using the same photo that he used with her. So everybody in the third screen, you see poser, you see he lies, fake, in the bottom screen, another one fake, two more saying, haha, you're fake. So as you scroll down, everybody is saying this is fake, okay? Now, I took a look at this guy's profile, and he says works at eBay, went to Punjab group of colleges, and he's from Pakistan. So number one up here, you have to follow this by the numbers because I'm going through the whole cycle here. So number one, I reported him as fraud or scam. It says report received. Then number one on the bottom screen, you can see that I got a message back, and that would be, I got two messages back, one 12 hours ago, one 14 hours ago. So number one was 14 hours ago. I got a message back from support that said doesn't go against our specific community standards. So I chose the option down below. I said see options, and I wanted a review of this. Then 2 hours later, number two starts popping up. First we have an update about your report of Ali Razi, And number 2, same damn message as before. Doesn't go against one of our specific community standards. Now, I'm not reporting on the profile, keep in mind. I report only on the posting in the group. So they shouldn't even be looking at this information about this guy being Pakistani. So here, I ask, what the hell are these third-party reviewers doing? I reported the screen on the left, which if you scroll down, everybody in the world thinks this guy is fake. I report it and ask for a review. What are the reviewers doing besides smoking crack? It's just crazy that you wouldn't look below the picture to see what other, see if there's any screen prints in there from people who, discovered the picture is fake, Just look at the damn posting. The posting was reported as fake. Now, if you're a reviewer and you don't look at the posting, you've got shit for brains, literal shit for brains. So once you get marked by brainless, uneducated idiots who can't get a job, these guys that are the reviewers, or trying to expose Facebook as corrupt. It's a corrupt organization run by a corrupt guy at the top. 2 things happen. So 1, Facebook support stops reacting to your reports. They don't do anything when I report something anymore. I don't get anything back. It's just ignored, So I am worthless for reporting. So the only thing I can do is put in a screen print and ask somebody else to report. Report to Facebook, I always say, not to the group moderator, because if you report to the group moderator and they have a brain, because they're not a brainless, uneducated idiot, they might delete the posting, and then there's nothing for Facebook to look at. So I always say, report this to Facebook. And then number 2, support looks for reasons to restrict your account. They'll look for anything. Your account's been restricted in the past for hate speech for no reason at all. But since I've got a couple of marks against me for hate speech, they're looking for me now. And they're looking for a reason to restrict my account. And I'm looking for a reason to sue them the flippin' hell out of Facebook and Zuckerberg. And this is just as designed by Zuckerberg and Facebook to go after people who consistently insist on trying to report fake accounts. Demands for Facebook Zuckerberg. And, we can work on this with senators to make it better. Immediately find and delete 10 million fake profiles, just as a sign of good faith. This shouldn't take any more than 15 minutes sitting down with a database administrator to find and delete 10 million Nigerian scammer accounts. It would have an impact. When a Facebook user displays a Facebook account number instead of the user's name, I don't know the reason for you allowing users to do that, but give people the ability to click on display name, so we can see that it's a Nigerian scammer. Or, display location. Nigerian scammers are getting into sending people messages and friend invitations all the time. And you're not giving people a way of determining whether it's a Nigerian scammer. You don't want to make a friend with a Nigerian scammer. They'll steal your photos. Establish new criteria for people setting up new accounts to assure that the accounts are not fake. You require a phone number. Phone numbers are based somewhere. If you have Nigerians setting up new accounts, they should be setting them up in Nigeria, not in Vietnam. Perform automated photo search functionality for all new members and all new profile photos. Photo recognition, facial recognition. This might be a burden on your processing times, but work something out, figure it out. Number 4, eliminate the entire bot system and hire some top tier consultants, like from IBM or Accenture, trusted advisors, to determine a more suitable set of report reasons and rewrite the bots. You don't have the reason. The most common reason would be report a fake account, and you eliminated that because it was having a detrimental effect on your total numbers of active users. Eliminate all third-party reviewers and establish new reviewers that do not report to Facebook. If maybe these people they don't work for Facebook because they're third-party, uneducated, unemployable people who get a job as a reviewer, and they're swayed by Facebook. Never, ever, ever delete a fake account. And if somebody reports a fake account, ban them from Facebook for 30 days for hate speech. Find Facebook users who have been targeted by third-party Facebook reviewers who have been flagged for hate speech or other reasons. Find people who have been targeted by third-party reviewers who have been flagged for hate speech due to posting fake accounts, and compensate them all $100. That's not much for a user, but it'll have a pretty good effect on the total number on Facebook. When fake profiles are found, delete the Facebook account and ban the scammer for life. Ban the phone numbers. You can get a new phone number in a market any day. Ban the facial recognition. Ban the IP address. Make sure you figure out some way to ban that person for life. Report all fake profiles to an FBI database. So this will take some thought. A top-tier consulting firm can do this. I could do this. Report all fake profiles, and you have to figure out which field numbers to transport over to an FBI database. So these are all of the demands. Now the whole idea of this is to make Facebook a safer place. Right now it's safe for scammers. It's safe for Nigerians. That's not good. If you have kids, make sure you watch the other 5 videos for more drills on recognizing fake accounts. Thank you.